A battle that has gone on for too long, and it's time for it to come to an end. And it's gonna end with sheer utter mechanical violence! Oh yes, the sparks are gonna fly and bots are gonna die as our competitors get ready for an utter showdown to end the feud once and for all! So grab your popcorn and drinks and lock your doors and get ready for Robot Wars! Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the ultimate showdown. Today an old feud gets sorted out between both me and Einars with a clause. The person that loses this competition is to not only never talk about the other person again, but they must also delete every single video they've ever made on the other person and never make another one again. That's the deal and is not subject to negotiation, to quote Ophelia from the movie Trading Places. 10 bots from either side will be entering the arena to achieve victory. For every win the bots acquire, they gain a point for their representing member. The player with the most points will be declared the victor. If both bots are still standing by the end of the fight, then it will be handed down to our judges who will revisit the fight to determine the winner. They'll be marking on style, control, damage, and aggression. So before the battle commences, let's take a look at the battle board and see just how this competition is going to work. Our 10 machines are selected and rearing to go with 101 and its CO2 spike against the flipper of Bigger Brother, Firestorm and the lifting arm against the very impressive and tricky middleweight machine Complete Control. Robot Wars legend Chaos 2 hoping to flip their rat attack over the wall, which Dan Tomkier will be hoping to do to lightning. Destructotron hoping to destroy Kilotron before they get killed themselves. Jabberwocky a weird looking machine against the carnivorous Mechavore. General Trumpsalot hoping to chow down onto the Mighty Mouse. M2 will be taking on a behemoth of a shark in the form of Megalodon. Mortis going in to commit animal abuse on the endangered Rhino. And Hammerhead 2 will be hoping to stop and neutralize the Terahertz. Now let the wars begin! "101 Rambot." And here we are with 101, a track bot built out of hardened steel and armed with a special spike that's attached to a sensor. It's invertible because the tracks are, well, as you can see, the tracks are exposed, which is also a bit of a danger point, so if the tracks get hit, they will come off. Not very good, but it's invertible and the machine is very, very durable, which is also a plus. And surprisingly, this machine costs £1, 1 pence to build! Bigger Brother Flipper. It's considered a nightmare in metal with a spiked flipper for the weapon, CO2 powered, meaning there are only limited flips, although this machine runs hard. It is difficult to kill, and even if you throw it up and over, it can self-right, and its flipper is very, very powerful.
Roboteers, stand by.
101, the trackbot with the CO2 pressure-powered spike attached to the sensor, and Bigger Brother, the nightmare metal with the spiked flipper.
Three,
Three,
two, one.
And here we go, the first fight of the night. Wow, well, Bigger Brother immediately halfway across the floor already. 101, very slow. Did we put extra batteries in that? Or is there a problem with the battery power? I don't know. Bigger Brother already on the attack and definitely on the aggressive side. Pushing and flipping 101. This isn't going well for me, is it? But now 101 driving over the flipper. No, being pressured by Bigger Brother. There seems to be Bigger Brother. Oh! But that's poor maneuverability there from Bigger Brother, flipping themselves up and over. They can self-right, so that's not a problem. 101 thrown. They can drive both ways up, and now up and over goes Bigger Brother again. Oh, I love Bigger Brother's weapon. Is that for 101 though? They seem to be struggling driving over the floor flipper there. That's a bit of a worry, isn't it? Well, Bigger Brother still very much on top. And now 101 got oh, down the pit goes Bigger Brother. Oh no. Well, thanks, bigger brother. You just gave me the first win of the night. 101, standing tall, and bigger brother lying in the pit of oblivion. Poor bigger brother, using the flipper to try and get out, but not happening, boys. 101 the victors. I really don't understand how you managed that, but bigger brother fall, and I get the point. 101 the winners. Next up, Firestorm and Complete Control. Firestorm. Flipper. A Robo Wars Classic, and this is Firestorm Series 3. And you can tell that not just because of the design, but also because there's a CO2 spike at the back, as well as the lifting arm and the front treads, which help machines drive up it for the lifting arm to throw another over. It has a very good flipping arm, but it's very slow, meaning it's also slow to self-right. And there's a high ground clearance at the back. Complete control. Control bot. I'd make fun of Einars for entering with this middleweight robot against the heavyweight, but given the fact it's complete control, I really can't, because this machine is very, very good. The weapon synergy on this machine is very, very good. Its lifter and clamping arm work great in unison. They can hoist the machine up, and then they can do whatever the heck they want with it. Just, they can dump it in the pit. It's impressive, but there's a problem, which is the machine has no self-righting mechanism. Oh dear.
Roboteers, stand by.
Firestorm with the flipping arm, and complete control with the clamping weapon.
3,
Used to
2,
clamp holes of machines and was very effective in BattleBots. Firestorm now underneath complete control and pinning him up against the wall. 0 degree ground clearance at the front, by the way. Now complete control. Well, that just pushed him away, Firestorm. Now Firestorm giving a push and complete control, just running and hiding. But now thrown over and Firestorm up on the wall. And I think they're stuck. Yeah, look at this. This is the attack up under the side goes with complete control. But Firestorm goes up on the wall and are stuck. They're beached. The wheels can't touch the floor. And I think that's it. Cease called. Rematch.
Roboteers, stand by. 3, 2, 1. Activate.
Here we go again. Hopefully they don't get stuck together. And Firestorm needs to be careful of that clamp, because it can cause problems. Firestorm mistiming the flip. Definitely the more aggressive. What is complete control doing? I have no real clue, but here's Firestorm on the attack and flipping complete control. Firestorm trying to get a good round. Oh, not enough there. Yeah, Firestorm, you clip it with the floor flipper. Now, complete control had them. If they had actually gone in for the kill, they could have done something here, but no. Firestorm able to come in, and over they go, and that's the end of complete control. No Shreemac on that machine. Here it is again. There the attack. I think they tried to flip them onto their weapon, but I think they hit the spike, so caused them to flop over to the side. But Firestorm, they can do whatever they want with complete control. I don't think they'll be able to flip them back over. Well, they could, thinking from the backside, but they're at the side, and it's clear what they're going to do. Drop them into the pit. And that's the end of complete control. Firestorm, the victor. A final nudge just for good measure. But it's Firestorm who claims victory. Complete control. Disappointments for Einars. And that's 2 to me. Complete control full and out. Firestorm standing tall. Next up, Chaos 2 and Wrath Attack. Chaos 2. Flipper. A Robot Wars icon, Chaos 2 with its CO2 powered flipper, the first machine to toss another out of the arena, and the first machine to hold the title, winning both Series 3 and Series 4 of the original Robot Wars. It's a very strong flipper, but it's got a high ground clearance for one, but it also has limited CO2, and also one small issue, its backside is quite vulnerable, because you can literally see all the electronics. Rat Attack! Flipper Spinner! A mouse with a very interesting front weapon assault, a circular saw as well as a flipper, which is front hinged, I should point out. So the flipper will throw the machines up and over, while the circular saw cuts into them while they're on top before the flipper fires, which is interesting. It also has a rear spike at the back to do some extra damage in case some idiot decides to come at it from the back, which has a bit of a problem because that spike can cause a ground clearance issue, and it's also a bit more lightweight than most of the heavyweights in this competition.
Roboteers, stand by.
Chaos 2 with the CO2 powered flipper, and Rat Attack with their front hinge flipper attached to a circular saw.
2, 1, activate.
Bit of a weird weapon setup, but a very effective one as it's thrown Chaos 2 already across the floor. But now Chaos 2 can come in and throw themselves up and over, but Chaos 2 gets self right, which is good. But look at this again. They go to fire, but Rat Attack, the wrong angle, and Chaos 2 throws themselves up and over. That's the issue with that flipper as well. They can throw themselves over. Another flip on Rat Attack, and not enough to throw them over. But Rat Attack seems probably the more, control. Mistimed the flip again. And Chaos 2 trying to get underneath Rat Attack, and sparks flying from the spinning saw blade. And now Chaos 2 finally a flip on Rat Attack, and that's a problem because I don't think Rat Attack can right themselves. Yes, they can. Rat Attack rights themselves. Meanwhile, Chaos 2 bullied it and flung into the air. Self flips away from the wall, and Chaos 2 has become a bit of a toy for Rat Attack. What's happened? I think Chaos 2's immobilized. There's a problem with the drive on Chaos 2. I think have they broken down? Has Chaos 2 died from Rat Attack? I think they have. Meanwhile, Rat Attack being pestered by the arena spike, Chaos 2 throwing themselves up and over, and you know what? The attack of the blade and the flipper from Rat Attack, very, very interesting. I actually do dig that. Oh, and now Chaos 2. Well, Chaos 2, they're fodder, really, for Rat Attack. They can't move. They're immobilized. And Rat Attack basically has this. They're the victors, quite clearly. Chaos 2 still trying to flip Rat Attack. Don't think it will really matter, Chaos 2. I think you're well and truly immobilized, and out you are now! Out of the arena! And a great flip there from Rat Attack. Here it is again. Up and out. And that's a good victory and an amazing win. And a famous win for Rat Attack against two-time champion Chaos 2. And that also puts Einars on the board. Rat Attack claiming victory. Chaos 2 falls. Damn it. Next up, Dan Tonkia and Lightning. Dan Tonkia. Flipper. A very strong machine that also sent Chaos 2 out of the arena. Yes, I'm entering with this machine, the machine that beat Chaos 2. F you, mate. It's got a full pressured flipper, and it's also got the two points at the front. If it goes on its back, it can spin on the spot and use them to whack the opponent, but it can also use them to impale the opponent, as it can be used as spikes. There is a limited CO2 gas supply on this machine, however, but the armament, that is its strong point. It's very hard to get through. Lightning Flipper. Considered one of the most unique flipper machines in Robot Wars because of the flipper itself. Instead of flipping machines upwards or pushing machines away like a front hinge flipper, this robot flipper is attached to the side, so it just swats machines away, which is pretty impressive and interesting. It's quite innovative. There are also two spikes at the back to do extra damage in case someone is dumb enough to come at it from the backside. But for the flipper, it's, in all fairness, it's not the most effective.
Robot ears, stand by.
Dan Tonkia with the CO2 powered flipper, and Lightning with the sideways flipper.
3, 2,
It's a flip off. Very interesting. Dan Tonkia. That's gonna be an issue, isn't it? Dan Tonkia's wheeling, which can help Lightning get underneath and get a good flipping on Dan Tonkia. So that's the first assault. And again, up and over goes Dan Tonkia, but they have a CO2 powered flipper they can self-right easily. So, how will Dan Tonkia beat the might of Lightning? Well, I don't think they'll be able to because Lightning's very low to the ground and underneath again, but flipping onto the side, which can help Dan Tonkia because of the flipper and the design. This is all Lightning so far. I have to say, this is all Lightning. Dan Tonkia trying. Up and over goes Dan Tonkia again. Dan Tonkia, the best bet is to get around to the backside, but they've both got the same speed, and Lightning can get underneath them really easily because of the wheeling Dan Tonkia does. So how will Dan Tonkia get past that? Up and over again, and Lightning pushing them against the wall, and now doing a bit of a merry dance with each other. It's a robot combat. You're supposed to be fighting. And what was that? That was smoke, I think I saw. And I think I saw that from Dan Tonkia. But no, there was smoke! There was smoke! It's from Dan Tonkia! One of the wheels is gone, I think! It has to be! One of the wheels is gone from the one attack from Lightning earlier! And the wheel is gone! Dan Tonkia, they can't drive! They have no real control up and over! They're on the wall now! And I think Dan Tonkia are out of it! They're immobilized! They can't move! Get away from the spike, Lightning. They can't move! Dan Tonkia being counted out! Their drive's gone! They can't self-right away! And that's it! Dan Tonkia out! Lightning get the victory for Einars! That's 2 apiece! And that's another victory for Einars! 2-all now! So let's see if this can't change things. Destructotron and Kilotron! Oh god. Destructotron! Axebot! This is what happens when you try to build a robot and you don't know what you want it to be armed with. So basically, it's armed with everything. 2 front spikes with a front plow, side spikes on the side to help for extra side protection, a rear circular saw, and a overhead axe. Well, not overhead, but you know what I mean. It's a fire axe, and this machine has quite a lot of ground clearance, if I'm honest. It's very high. But the spikes and saw and axe are definitely the key point of this machine. This might just do some pretty nifty damage. Kilotron! Axebot! Kilotron comes in with a double-sided pickaxe, actually 2 double-sided pickaxes, extra damage, along with 2 spikes on top of each axe head. Now some front wedge at the front to get underneath the machines for the axe to do extra damage. Oh, but that drive chain, the weapon chain, I should say, that looks very, very vulnerable.
Robot ears, stand by.
Destructotron with literally every weapon under the sun. Overcompensating much. And Kilotron with the 2-headed pickaxe.
1. Activate.
Who will be stronger? Well, there's a high ground clearance on Destructotron, but Destructotron seems to be the fastest and definitely in on the attack after the weapon chain. I said that was exposed and vulnerable. But look at this though, Kilotron underneath Destructotron negating the fire axe, and I did mention that axe, that the ground clearance of Destructotron would be an issue I like how both these machines end with Tron. Yeah, that's not gonna be annoying, is it? Oh, Destructotron, be careful of the pits! Jeez, what are you doing? Going in for Kilotron, who's seems to be having, well, they're being grinded on here by Destructotron. And I think there's drive problems here for Kilotron. And I think Destructotron's spike got them stuck on top. Is that it? Is that it for Kilotron? They immobilized? Well, there goes the grinding blade of Destructotron. Kilotron trying to get some life in. There is mobility, but I don't think there's something wrong here with Kilotron, and Destructotron knows it. I think what Destructotron's trying to do is get a good fight. They want an actual fight, and that's what they're trying to do here, using the circular saw in the back of Kilotron. What's wrong with Kilotron's drive? No, there it is. And Destructotron very close to the pit. Oh. And then any further, they could have been driven in, and now pinned up by the arena spikes. And that's good driving there from Kilotron, and now Kilotron get away from the pit. But now Destructotron firing their axe. I don't think to any real succession. They're stuck on the spikes, and that's, well, they're effectively, they're pinned up. They can't move. They're effectively immobilized now. And now the spikes come down as I say it. Kilotron trying to move. Destructotron rammed up the front of Kilotron. Now, seats hasn't been called, and there's the axe of Kilotron actually making contact. It's probably done it before, I just didn't see it, but that's good contact. And there again, and again, and again. Destructotron trying to use their axe to no real succession. How's this gonna go if it does go the 5 minutes? If this does go to the judges? How's this gonna work? I have no real clue, but I think there is a problem here with Kilotron. There is a problem with their drive. And I think that drive... Destructotron, what are you doing? Get You're jumping around like firecrackers! That's brilliant! Just stay off the spike! Now Kilotron to come in, try and get some extra points if this somehow does go to the judges, who will be marking on style control, damage and aggression, although damage definitely being caused by Destructotron's saw. And throughout this fight, Destructotron has definitely been the more aggressive. They've come in for the attack more. But I'm wondering, because Kilotron was stuck in the corner, they weren't driving. I'm not a judge, so I can't make that call. Kilotron trying to come in to get some damage done. And now Destructotron with their axe, and, well, that axe has actually caused damage! Well, from the speed the axe went, you didn't think it could. But it's caused some real damage, and I think that fire was something vital. I think that was Kilotron's movement, because the weapon's working, yes, but is the machine? I don't think so. I think Kilotron's fully immobilized now. So Destructotron will get the victory because of no movement. The weapon moves, yes, but can you really count that? No, I don't think you can. I think Kilotron is completely immobilized, and Destructotron will get the victory here. Just about. And that's it. Seats is called. And I think this is Destructotron's. And there's confirmation. Destructotron claims victory for Kilotron. Next up, Jabberwocky and Mechavore. Jabberwocky. Flipper. This machine is a really weird one. Its flipper is too far to the left, and it's got a circular saw on the right. It's 3-wheel driven with 1 wheel exposed and 2 hiding inside. What on earth is this machine? I don't know, but I like it, hence why I'm entering it. Mechavour Spinner. A BattleBots classic and a fan favorite as well, with a ginormous flywheel, 4-wheel drive. The flywheel is extremely destructive, ripping dozens of machines apart in BattleBots. No self-righting mechanism on this machine, however, although I wonder if that's... yeah, the lack of a stream is going to be a problem because it can't drive both ways up. Also, look at those exposed wheels. Although for additional bonuses, the flywheel is made from 2 discs. Overcompensating for much?
Robot ears, stand by.
The weird machine of Jabberwocky with the flipper, and Mechavour the muncher with the 2 flywheels.
2, 1.
Interesting to see who stands up the best. Mechavour definitely faster than Jabberwocky, who's flung into the air, but they can self-right. Part of that flipper's gone, actually. You can see it there, and now the flipper's gone. They've lost the saw blade too. Well, the blade of Mechavour lethal. Is Mechavour okay? Yeah, they were just stuck on the wedge of the now destroyed flipper. And meanwhile, well, that's going to be a problem for Jabberwocky. They're being absolutely dissected here by Mechavour. But Mechavour, well, Jabberwocky, they're strong. They're able to take the hits. Mechavour stuck on the spikes. And now Jabberwocky up on the backside, back. This is honestly quite entertaining. Mechavour now stuck on the spike, and whoa! Mechavour getting some real good air there, and now Mechavour getting Jabberwocky on the wall. They've suffered away, and over the flames. And you know what? Throughout this fight, I've noticed something. Jabberwocky's only able to turn in a circle. They've no real control. I think the other 2 wheels have been destroyed, and Mechavour up and over! Well, how about that? From the arena spike, it's as if Mechavour comes in, Jabberwocky gets flung by the spike, and it throws Mechavour over! Well, that's going to cause a problem for Mechavour, although Mechavour seems to be able to be driving. Not okay, but they're driving. But you can see here, Jabberwocky in trouble. Other than again, so is Mechavour. So, how will this go? Well, I think if this goes to the judges, the lack of control and mobility on Jabberwocky's part will be key, as will the damage. So, I think this fight will go towards Mechavour, but Jabberwocky, you know, they're still moving. Seeing Mechavour just go flying through the air. That's genuinely entertaining. That's great. And now Jabberwocky, the wheel's gone. The final wheel, the only wheel that was helping them move, is gone. And now Jabberwocky are truly immobilized. And Mechavour to have a bit of fun. Poor Jabberwocky. Well, kudos to Jabberwocky for staying as long as they did. That's a 1,000,000 to 1 shot. How did you do that, Mechavour? Let's look at this again. They come in, they hit the lip, and they ping off the wall. And they're stuck on their side. That's great. Mechavour the victors. Wow, that was just pure destruction. Megaball deserved the win. I'm not gonna lie, they deserved that win. Next up, General Jumps-a-Lot and Mighty Mouse. General Jumps-a-Lot. Control Bot. A two-wheel driven invertible machine ready to clamp down on anyone dumb enough to get in its mouth. Knocking this machine up and over is going to be pointless as it can run both ways up, although the very large wheels will be its major Achilles heel, as they are a very big juicy target, especially if you come in with a spinning blade. And also, they also give it a bit of a ground clearance issue. Mighty Mouse. Rambot. The lightest heavyweight in the competition, and a very, very fast one at that, with the front ramming spikes and the rear circular saws. It's fast and agile, it's extremely light and small too, which, while a bit of a downside, has an upside as well, which is that it makes it much, much faster than many of the other machines in this competition.
Robot ears, stand by.
General Jumps-a-Lot, the control grabber, and Mighty Mouse, the little machine with the spike and blades.
2, 1.
So who, well, General Jumps-a-Lot's opening its mouth going, I will eat you. Ooh, and Jumps-a-Lot up and over, and are now stuck on top of Mighty Mouse. And Mighty Mouse able to give a push, but not a great push, because General Jumps-a-Lot is bigger, beefier, and heavier than Mighty Mouse. And I think that's causing... You can see the problem. You can see Mighty Mouse struggling to push them. And if this continues, if they can't get separated, a cease will have to be called, where they will be separated and they'll have to restart this. Although Mighty Mouse does seem to be getting some good pushes in. Each time they reverse, they come back in with more force, more power. So that is something. Oh! General Jumps-a-Lot righted! Well, not righted, but away! And Mighty Mouse flung by the spike. Now, is that going to affect... Well, of course it will, but there is a frog. Well, I approve. Okay, so, sit rep. General Jumps-a-Lot righted! And now so is Mighty Mouse. And Mighty Mouse back in on the attack on General Jumps-a-Lot. And now General Jumps-a-Lot on the side and being pressured by the little mouse. Well, so far I'd have to call this Mighty Mouse's fight, as they're pinning General Jumps-a-Lot in to the wall. And now General Jumps-a-Lot coming in. Or are they? They're big, and they're now coming in and pushing Mighty Mouse. And that's what I thought could potentially happen. Part of their jaws actually got a hold of Mighty Mouse, you can see there. Pinning him right against the ear. It's a wheel. It's not a wheel, it's an ear. But now, General Jumps-a-Lot seems to be on control. Getting back in on the fight. And again, slamming into Mighty Mouse. Driving away and coming back in again. Grabbing the ear. Trying to push Mighty Mouse away and stay away from the pit, you two. This has actually turned into quite a fight. And now General Jumps-a-Lot trying to get away from Mighty Mouse, who are underneath them once again. And General Jumps-a-Lot are in trouble. This is a really good fight, but now General Jumps-a-Lot has a hold of Mighty Mouse and pushing them away towards the bed and down and out. And that's the end of General Jumps-a-Lot. Little wheelie from General Jumps-a-Lot. Mighty Mouse gone into the pit. And it's General Jumps-a-Lot who claims the victory. Whew, what a fight. That was a very good, tough fight, actually. That could have gone either way. But Mighty Mouse in the pit. General Jumps-a-Lot claims victory. Next up, M2 and Megalodon. M2 Flipper. A CO2 powered flipper, two-wheel driven with a little bit of a ground clearance, but the flipper is the main key, and the flipper is very, very powerful. Stay away from that flipper, and if you do flip this machine up and over, because of the design of the machine, the barrel design, it can roll back over. Plus, as I said, it's got a CO2 powered flipper to help it right itself. Megalodon Lifter. A shark with lifting jaws, and it can also be used as a clamper. It's an invertible design, which is useful, although the exposed wheels are a bit of a problem. Not like that's really going to affect it, because this machine can drive both ways up, and the weapon is very big and very wide. So this machine will lift, but it'll also clamp down and drive it wherever it wants you to go, or just lift you and pin you up against the wall where you cannot move.
Robot ears, stand by.
M2 with the CO2 flipper, and the invertible shark and lifter of Megalodon.
3,
3, 2,
1.
go.
Who will be stronger? Well, I think it's less who will be stronger, more who will be able to get underneath the opponent. Megalodon firing the weapon the wrong time though, and gets flipped by M2, and M2 nearly throwing Megalodon out the arena there. They're caught in the spike now, and Megalodon up and over once again. And I think M2's plan is to throw Megalodon over and out the arena, but they're up and over themselves, and Megalodon being bullied by an arena spike. That's not good, is it? Now for M2 to throw Megalodon up and over again. But not out the arena just yet. And Megalodon... Well, Megalodon doing a bit of a wheel. Like, you knew sharks knew how to breakdance. Learn something new every day, children. And now Megalodon on top of M2, who push Megalodon. I think that was to get them off, but now Megalodon has M2 in their grip and are pinning them against the wall and are stopping that CO2 flipper of M2 from doing any damage. And now M2 underneath Megalodon again, and drives and fires again. Not out the arena though, which is a bit of a shame. Megalodon? Is something okay with Megalodon, I wonder? There's no movement. I think they're immobilized. Did that flip knock something loose in Megalodon there? Well, the weapon works, which you can tell, but there's nothing left of Megalodon, and not the arena. And that's the end, and M2 claims the victory. And Megalodon, gone. This was where it ended for Megalodon, the flip. And I think something got dislodged, there was no movement left. And M2, the final coup de grace, and flung out of the arena. That's the end of them. Poor Megalodon. A shame that happened. There was a pretty fun fight. But M2 claims victory. Next up, Mortis and the middleweight Rhino. Mortis. Axebot. A Robot Wars classic. Mortis comes in with a Tanto axe and lifting arm, as well as the tracks coated in silicon carbide, making it effectively diamond coated. The tracks are a bit vulnerable and the high ground clearance can be suspect, but that axe, when it gets up to power, is extremely, extremely dangerous. It moves so fast. Just run. That's all I'm saying. Run. Rhino. Spinner. Another middleweight. Oh, great. But with a spinning drum this time, so that means damage points. The damage will be impressive though, because that drum spins very quick and the machine itself is quick as well. But the exposed wheels are an issue, and for some reason this machine struggles to drive upside down. Apparently they thought that was a great idea.
Robot ears, stand by.
Mortis, the trackbot with the Tanto blade and lifting arm, and Rhino, the middleweight with the spinning drum.
2,
3, 2,
1.
1, Go.
So, well, Rhino's not even gone off the mark, and that's given Mortis the chance to throw that up and over very quickly early on. Look at this. No real effort. Well, it's a middleweight, what do you expect? But Rhino didn't even get off the mark. And a thrown over, and Mortis pretty much just bullying them at this point. Oh, they're right at them! And, well, now Rhino can get some damage done. They're definitely causing sparks, and they've got Mortis in the pit! And they've got him themselves, well look at that! Rhino, a middleweight, just pitted Mortis! That's a fast fight, and a fast and easy victory! Well done, Rhino! I'm stunned! Legitimately shocked! Mortis, why did you write them in the first place, you morons? Next up, Hammerhead 2 and Terahertz. Hammerhead 2, Flipper. A Dutch robot with a flipper at the back, the tail, and two side hammers to smack into anyone dumb enough to get it out of the side. It's invertible, so it can drive both ways up, although when it is up and over, it negates the flipper, which can be a problem, although I guess the flipper can then be used as a sort of ramming spike. It is invertible, as I mentioned, which also has another issue, which is that the wheels are exposed. That's... Oh dear. Terahertz! Axebot! One of the most fiercest axe bots in Robot Wars, Terahertz with... Oh god, I have to deal with this thing. Seriously. Scrap. Well, Terahertz has a double-headed axe bot, and the axe is extremely dangerous. Do not go anywhere near it. You will definitely die. It's dangerous, it is very fast and maneuverable, but it's a bit unpredictable whenever it fires its weapon, meaning you can actually get underneath it.
Robot ears, stand by.
Hammerhead 2 with the rear flipping tail, and Terahertz with the most dangerous axe known to robot combat.
3, 2,
3, 2,
1.
1.
And definitely not an axe you want to be on the receiving end of. Hammerhead slamming into the side of Terahertz, but now Terahertz can use that axe to damage Hammerhead. Not doing much damage. Probably are, but not visible. Terahertz just pinning them in, really. And being buffeted by the arena spike. You can see Hammerhead, I think, trying to get underneath Terahertz. No real succession, though. Until that moment. Now, Hammerhead underneath and slamming Terahertz into the arena wall. And this is a good job here. And Terahertz now on top of Hammerhead 2. Once again, they don't really want to be there because Hammerhead can drive them around. Except there's fire from Hammerhead. And there's no mobility. I think they're immobilized. I think that axe hit something vital.
Cease.
And cease is called. Hammerhead immobilized. Terahertz the winner. And that brings the score to 5-all. And there you have it, confirmation that both of us have 5 points, leaving us with a tie. And a tie will not do, so we'll have to go through the machines we have and throw one of them back into the ring for the deciding fight. But while we do that, let's have a little vengeance fight between two Robot Wars icons, Razor and Tornado, with a history to boot, as the first times Razor faced Tornado, they won almost easily. But then Tornado implemented a cage which many fans considered to be cheating. Innovative, but also cheating. So now it's time for these machines to fight it out once more in our grand arena. Razor Crusher. During its Robot Wars run, it won practically almost every single championship title it came across. It won Pinball, it won the International League Championship 2 times world champion, 2 times all-star champion, and the winner of Robot Wars Series 5. This machine is extremely incredible. That's 9 tons of squeeze ability in the crushing arm. The 450 holes drilled into the machine help to keep the weight down, but the self-riding mechanism is very, very slow. Tornado Rambot. Tornado by name, tornado by nature. It's a 36-volt running machine, very fast and powerful and dangerous. Interchangeable weaponry as well, meaning it can switch between using a spinning disc and a wedge, or whatever else it has. It's invertible, which is a plus, but it is vulnerable to flippers, and the wheels are exposed, although it's going up against Razor, and apparently they'll be using their steel cage they used pretty much in every later fight they ever had with them.
Robot ears, stand by.
A historical vengeance fight. Razor and Tornado.
3, 2,
3, 2,
1.
1, go.
A vengeance fight that is very well known, and Tornado getting a slam in on Razor and getting him on the spikes, but now getting stuck on the spikes themselves, and now really stuck on the spikes, and that's given Razor the chance to attack. Now the problem Razor's got is because of that cage, it's also used to stop Razor from attacking any of the internals as they get picked up by the spikes again. It's to stop them from getting at the internals, which is a pretty good idea, I guess. But it gives Razor the chance to control them, to grab hold and pretty much drag them and have full control over them, which is what Razor's doing. They're over the flame pit, and if enough flames get into Tornado, well, actually, in all honesty, I don't think that's really going to be a problem. Tornado, too much armament. Razor trying to get Tornado down to that pit, and nearly does. And now Razor to let go of Tornado. Oh! And Tornado hit the forward gear very early on. Look at this. Tornado almost dummying Tornado into the pit. They just hit accelerate in time though, before falling into the pit. They're now trying to, I think, rip away one of the wings on Razor. Although Razor has hold of Tornado, and now into the pit. But that cage, an anti-pit device, able to stop them from really getting caught in there. Look at this again, Razor pushing them. But the cage helped them get purchase and back into play. And now Razor to come in and throw Tornado into the pit, and this time at a diagonal. Now the blade works, really. And now Tornado. So, in order for Razor to beat Tornado with the pits, gotta throw him in there at that angle. Interesting. Razor, Tornado, who's fully on top here. I think it might just be Razor, Tornado, push. Oh, that was poor driving there from Tornado. What were they doing? Look at this. They drive over the pit into Razor, and they get caught on top of Razor's beak, who pushed them into the pit. That's poor driving. Razor pushing them out of the pit. Why? I think Razor's trying to show their dominance to Tornado, to show that their cage cannot stop Razor, that the cage is nothing to Razor anymore. It may have had them over before. I don't know where that sentence was going, to be honest, sorry. But Razor definitely, I think, more on top, more controlling. No real damage has been done to either member, either machine. No real damage. A little bit of flicker on the wing, but that's not doing anything. Razor coming into the backside of Tornado. Razor far more controlling here than Tornado. They've had more chance. Oh, that's poor driving there from Razor onto the spike, which Tornado then decides, oh, I want to play with that. Yeah, that's intelligent, boys. Now Tornado being pressured and controlled by Razor again over the flames. And Razor over the spike. And Razor needs to be careful of that pit. They're close to ending up in there. And I think Razor's trying to get Tornado back in the pit. Truth be told, you should have left him in there in the first place. Idiots. I'm sorry, but you are. Razor. Ooh, that's interesting. Tornado. Their speed's gone down a bit. They're not as fast, and that could be telling going forward as Razor goes to push Tornado nearly into the pit. But I think the battery's wearing out for Tornado. They're stuck in the wall. And Razor helping. And I think this is all Razor here, you know. Is Tornado okay? Razor definitely is. And this will go to the judges, who will be marking on style control, damage, and aggression. Cease is called. It goes to the judges. And here's what they'll be marking on. That was the first assault from Tornado, getting Razor over the spikes, but then they got stuck on the spikes, and that gave Razor the chance to control them over the flames, holding them over them, actually, Razor. Good control. And Razor nearly dummying Tornado. That's good control there from Razor. Bad control from Tornado, but good control to get away from it. Razor pushing Tornado towards the pit. Nearly in there, but driving away. Getting him in there again. This time, no escape. Until Razor drags them out, which could go against Razor. So far, I'd have to say Razor. This was definitely bad for Tornado. Driving into Razor, who pushed them into the pit. Poor driving there from Tornado. Tornado trying to get more points in as the fight progressed, but Razor, not afraid, drove in, kept on the attack, and then towards the end, the final minute, Tornado seemed to be losing power and battery power, and I think that might just push it towards Razor, who was more controlling the fight. And the judges have made their decision and have unanimously gone with Razor on aggression and control. Well done to Razor, and congratulations to Tornado. But now for the main event, without two main parties having their selected robots ready to head out one final time. And this is the big one. Firestorm for Taylor Gang against Mechavour for Einars. Firestorm has the low wedge to get underneath its opponents effortlessly and use their arm to topple their opponents up and over. But Mechavour has that extremely lethal blade, which caused serious damage to Jabberwocky, as we saw early in the episode. So this will be a fight to watch. Who will live and who will fall? Time for the final assault to begin!
Roboteers, stand by.
Firestorm with the lifting arm and the rear CO2 powered spike. And Mechavour with the two flywheels and the lethal damage.
3, 2, 1, go.
This is the deciding fight. Mechavour and Firestorm. Who will be, well, Mechavour into the pit! And I think that's the end of it in no time at all. Oh no! They've got out the pit! Wow, look at this! There they go! Out goes the tire. Okay, that's interesting. And then, oh, hey, bunny hop! And out the pit they go. And now Firestorm to throw up Mechavour to try and toss them over. But that's not an easy thing to do. Now Firestorm flung up and over. And that's serious damage to Firestorm! Look at that! The lifting arm's gone! That's the Firestorm self right here and there! The main part of the arm is gone! And Firestorm flung away as well. But Firestorm has 0 degree ground clearance at the front, don't forget, so they can get underneath everyone. And now the arm is fully destroyed. They cannot flip Mechavour anymore, and they cannot self-right. Oh, and Mechavour nearly went down the pit here. Look at this. A ping off Firestorm and nearly went down the pit. And then they just collide with the wall. That's brilliant. Now, speaking of walls, Mechavore stuck on the wall. And now Firestorm getting them off it. Not much damage has been done to Firestorm. Well, a little bit of damage. And now Mechavore getting the lethal flywheel underneath. And they're stuck on the wall again. And Firestorm definitely taking bits of damage actually. And that will rack up for Mechavore if this goes to the judges. But Firestorm controlling. They're still being able to pressurize Mechavore, but now Firestorm maneuver, and this will be, I think, the end of Firestorm. And Mechavore ripping into Firestorm, and Mechavore. I think this is them trying to make sure Firestorm, if Firestorm does come back, there's no way they can recover. And Firestorm, they're being mullet out here! This is brilliant! Now Firestorm righted! But Firestorm with no real control! And, well, they can't... Mechavore! In the pit! And that's it! A wheelie as Mechavore comes in! And down in the pit! And that is the end of Mechavore. There's no coming back now. Mechavore stuck in the pit. And Firestorm claims victory. Firestorm the victors. And the decider is complete. And there you have it, with Firestorm claiming the final point and winning the competition. But what an absolutely amazing fight that was, and what a way to end it. But Einars falls, and finally the stupid feud is officially over. Thank you to everyone for watching, and I look forward to seeing you again. But until then, if a tiger gets angry, he'll show you his claws, but we'll show you flamethrowers on Robot Wars. Bye-bye! Oh, the Metal Munching carnage isn't over, not by a long shot! Robot Wars Series 1 is about to begin over on the second channel, Spike Prime! 81 machines will be gearing up and getting ready to fight to claim the title of Robot Wars Champion! Don't miss it!